a few minutes to talk about something, kind of what I call the elephant in the room right now, right? What is going on with real estate? What's going on with anything out there in the world? And what should I do as a real estate investor, right? Well, nobody has a crystal ball 100%. I can kind of see some things happening, and I'm going to share my thoughts with you. I've been in this business for a long time, since the 80s. So I've seen things happening. I've seen other major things happening in the world, from Desert Storm to 9/11 to the housing crisis of 2007, and then COVID a couple of years ago. And so the world seems to have what I call these huge reset buttons, right? Where things seem to never be the same as before. Think about it. Anything major has always brought a different awareness and way of looking at things. So I predicted when we had the COVID shutdown in March of 2020 that we actually were going to see some amazing things with real estate over the next year. And we did. And there's a reason I say that is because if I go back in history and I see when something majorly happened, like Desert Storm, 9/11s, and everything, within a couple of years from that happening, something major happened with real estate. It jumped up. We had this huge inflation happening and so forth. So with that said, this is nothing new. This is nothing different to what is happening right now. And even back in the 80s, when I started, I was in Hawaii, and again, inflation and prices rose more than doubled over a year and a half at the end of the 80s. So with that said, what is happening right now, there is nothing new, and I wouldn't buy into this. I see a lot of panic and fear type videos and podcasts and social media that is not fair. I'm not sure what the purpose is there to say this. And I don't know if people want to scare other people out of the business, or people just thrive on chaos. As a real estate investor, okay, let's first talk about, as a real estate investor, what does it mean? Who are you as a real estate investor? You're somebody that positioned themselves to see what's going on in the market so that they can jump on the next opportunity. Okay. You're facilitating a transaction as an investor. You're facilitating a necessary inventory of housing. Real estate is not one of those businesses that will go out of style. I trust real estate more than I trust Amazon. Okay. People are going to need a place to stay. People are going to need shelter. It's not just a commodity or a luxury item, real estate is a necessity. And you are an investor, are, are facilitating this basic human need as like food or shelter, right? So when things happen in the world, good or bad, with a real estate or anything else, you have to see what is the need out there right now. Okay. And you want to create win-win situations. So, and that's how you make the money. So let's say, for example, when 2007 happened, and everything froze, right? The lending market, secondary market, and nothing was happening. Real estate became almost like a bad word. But then there were clever investors out there that saw the need. They saw the need of going out there and negotiating with banks to accept lower payoffs so that they could get this inventory of properties moving. And that's where short sales came, right? That's where a lot of investors got into short sales, including myself. And the ones that actually did that, including myself, actually made more money than anybody else, because a lot of people just froze and jumped out of the business. So we saw an opportunity. By the same token, it's not like you're taking advantage, but you are actually creating a need for something that it has created a need for other people. So now with 2020 happened with COVID, I remember for the first week after the shutdown, nothing else to do, right? I was sitting home anyway, everybody was. And so I started doing these lives and telling people, wait, don't jump out of the business. Don't give up on it yet. There are amazing opportunities will happen in real estate. And honestly, I went out and bought real estate in 2020 before everything went crazy, because I knew it was going to happen. Now, with the interest rates rising and a lot of things happen, inflation is off the roof. I'm seeing the writing on the wall. I'm not ignorant about it. But I'm also having my radars out there. I'm also having my, okay, so what's going to happen next? And as a real estate investor, how can I jump into this different opportunity? Again, I'm not a vulture, right? Looking for something to happen so I can just, zoom in on it. I'm actually looking for helping creating win-win situation for when people are going to be against the wall with what is going on, and which is going to happen. But as an investor, see yourself as an opportunity to be out there, be of service. And yes, you make money. There's nothing wrong with you making money by helping and making a win-win situation, not taking advantage of the situation. Okay. So don't be scared about getting into real estate. Don't be scared now to say, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It's not going to work. I hear people say, is real estate going to work? I says, well, most people do live in a house or an apartment. So yeah, it's probably going to work for a while. And you just position yourself to see what is the next opportunity coming around. And honestly, for me, it's kind of exciting because when 2007 happened, I didn't know. I had done a short sale back at the beginning of 2000. It's kind of a, fluke situation. But then I didn't know that you could make a huge business out of it, which I did. And then with 2020, when COVID shut down, for us, it was an opportunity to reinvent our business and getting our business totally online and virtual with real estate. And now we're 100% virtual. Before we were about 80%, now we're 100% virtual. So that was my silver lining from 2020. And I was about real estate in 2020. Then now some of these properties I have already doubled in value. So my net worth over the last couple of years more than doubled. But that's okay. There's going to be a readjustment. It's going to come down. I don't think it's going to come down to pre-2020 levels, but it's going to adjust. And it's well to be expected. It's well to be expected. But as an investor, I know at the end it will prevail. It will come back up in the next 5 to 10 years. And I'm positioned strongly to do that. All my real estate is in a trust. My kids will have the benefit of the trust. And I don't think they're going to sell anytime soon. Even if I passed away, it's going to be a good investment for them. So again, as a real estate investor, you position yourself, you look at the opportunity, you reinvent yourself. You're not going to be afraid, to change direction. I love the quote that says, when the wind changes course, you just adjust the sails. You can't change the wind. You can't change what's going on in the world and society and politics and economy, but you can change how you're going to perceive that and how you're going to position yourself. And that's where the great fortunes in real estate are made during these time of changes. So this hopefully helped you to get a little bit, reframe your thoughts. And like I said, don't listen to this fear base out there, because honestly, I think people like drama, like fear, especially media. So just look at history, just look at what happened in the past. And I'm here to tell you, 35 years later, I wouldn't do anything else but real estate. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.